Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, I know. I got the book here. I know you probably already had it. Extreme Prejudice by Susan Lindauer, and of course I got your contact from you, and also from a guy Jim up in northern Michigan, also at the same time because he's been listening to our show for 14 years. And I'd like you to talk about a couple of issues. You have mentioned a few you wanted to talk about today. Why don't we start off with those and then kind of highlight some of the new people you're recommending that I have on the show. General Janice Karpinski, Barbara Honegger, and of course next this coming Monday we're going to have Susan Lindauer on the program. So why don't you talk about the issues you want to talk about? And you also want to mention, I refer to him as Agent Epstein and the things that are going on with the Prince and the royals in Europe. What's going on there?
Okay. Hey, Bill, is there any way you can tune up or turn up the volume a little bit?
Yes, I'll get our board op to pop up the volume because oftentimes that's something they have to do at their end.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do it at my end. We're maxed out somehow. Are you on a speakerphone or how are you listening to us?
Yes, I'm outside, so I'm on my cell phone. So
are you on a speakerphone or do you have a headset?
Yeah, speakerphone, right.
Oh, that's not good. That's why you're probably having... That's not going to be good. You need to get inside and get on a headphone set so you can actually have earplugs and you can actually hear us. Otherwise, you're going to have problems.
Right. Okay. Next time, earplugs.
Would you have? Is there any way to go inside now or put earplugs in now? Yeah, if you put it, but then you get irradiated. You put it to your head, so I guess we'll have to send you antioxidants for your brain injury caused by the program today.
Oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, no, I'm with my traumatic brain injury, I'm trying to keep the amount of radiation.
Well, I'm not suggesting you do that. I can hear you well, and I'm sure the audience can. You just can't hear me because of the use of the speakerphone. So we'll trying to increase the volume there with our board op. But
I'm trying to keep.
I can hear you fine. So just go ahead.
Okay.
We don't want to microwave your brain. I'm just kidding you. I don't want you to put it on your head. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's already been traumatized over the last year enough. Thank you. But
well, you don't want to have what's called a 5G rendition, right? 5G rendition to your brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's easier ways of doing your reserve weekend duty. Believe me. So.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, no, I just wanted to say that on my book, I'm working out a special deal for disabled veterans that might be hospital bound, in the VA and so forth. That if they
Midnight in Samara is the book, which is available,
exactly. Right? And I'm trying to arrange for an e-book deal to where if there's veterans that are disabled and they can't actually arrange a purchase or get to a store or whatever, that we can arrange a free service and delivery.
Nice.
Midnight in Samara.
Yeah, well, you send me the links and I'll put it up so we can do that. Okay.
Okay. Good. We'll do. I'm working.
Because especially our veterans, you see, here's what I see: 3 problems with the veterans. Number one, we put them to the battlefield with improper equipment. We over-lawyer them. Number one, and then on number 2, we don't kind of catch them when they're doing bad behavior, which is what happened with you, with renditions or murder of people in the battlefield. So we have both sides of the equation we're missing. We don't give them level 3 body armor. I have actually contacts over the years. Our military sent them over with level 1, which could stop a 22, but not a high caliber weapon, or an IED that blows off the bottom of a vehicle and takes their legs. So we need to equip them with proper equipment so that when they go into the battlefield or even are just supervising these people, they don't end up limbless or dead. Right?
Right. Yeah, I can personally vouch for the Humvee with virtually little or no armor, as in I was in a Humvee that was hit by an RPG, rocket-propelled grenade, and was hit, and it killed 3 of the 5 people that were in the vehicle. So I was one of the survivors, but I do know what happens. And the engine was actually blown out of the vehicle, and part of it, hit me in the leg when I was leaving the vehicle, and then we actually collided into a mud brick wall, and I proceeded to have my ears lose the hearing in my ears because a minigun pulled up behind us to cover us.
Right.
and we were disabled, and the minigun opened up, and I lost my hearing. So anyway, that's what I would like to do, is do a nice assistance for any of the veterans that are disabled, that can't actually get to some sort of service or library or bookstore, to buy my book, or even contact.
Yeah.
Call
when
you
do you
folks.
think you'll have that? When do you think you'll have that service? Because when you have it, I'll post up a special link on my site so people can get it.
I'm calling Simon and Schuster this weekend, see if I can arrange it.
Once you get the link, you give it to me, and I'll post it up on our sites.
Okay,
we do a little
great.
video
Super.
clip for it too, as well, right?
Yeah, you bet.
There's a couple of subtopics I want you to cover. The first one is the latest with Fiona Hill, which is deeply linked up with not only the Sierra Camella, the actual so-called whistleblower, with the Soros Foundation, with Clapper, Brennan, and the Deep State. I want to go over what's going on with Schiff, and I think they're still going to proceed with trying to get a vote in the House to try to proceed forward with impeachment. What do you think?
Let me see. Okay, I will turn over the Fiona Hill episode to you. Okay, I don't know enough about her, and especially after judging by what I heard yesterday, to say one way or the other. All I do know is about the Ukraine, and what to say about the Ukraine, and what I think everybody was avoiding and dancing around. So, and I'm not quite sure if you want to hear that on your show, what my take on the whole episode is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we went over quite extensively yesterday with Gary Richard Arnold, and this is a very bad individual with a very bad set of connections, Fiona Hill. And what we have so far is basically hearsay evidence of nothing. It doesn't rise to the level, according to Mr. Starr, one of the medical legal experts on Fox, has indicated there's no way that they should be able to impeach or even move toward either a full vote or move it toward from the Intel Committee to the Judicial Committee to start impeachment. And it certainly, if they do that, it'll die when it gets to the Senate. So I think Adam Schiff is mentally ill. He's a very disturbed person. And the fact that Nancy Pelosi is trying to do this to kind of calm the extreme left version of her party that wants to proceed with impeachment when they have no grounds. They basically have a statement. I think there's a couple of different politicians going back, including Vladimir Lenin. He said, "Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime." In other words, if it's a person you don't like or don't want in power, you'll find some way of prosecuting him for a crime of some type. And that's what they're doing now. That's Adam Schiff. They call him. His name should be changed to Adam Shifty. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Shifty guy. He's definitely shifty.
Well, no, what's amazing to me is, like I said, they keep dancing around the natural gas and the oil issue, okay, the pipeline issue, and that's why Russia is involved in all this right there. Is Russia is attempting to retake their old territory of Ukraine, via Khrushchev. Okay, the Ukraine was actually given back to Khrushchev when he became the chairman of the Politburo. So, but what they're trying to do is, and this is when I was there talking to engineers about what was going on, and the whole idea is that Pryoshka Basin in Russia, Siberia, was attempting to get a warm water port for its natural gas and oil. Okay, and so, surprise, guess who's there? It's all American engineers and logistics people. They were all there, okay, at that time. And that's what they're trying to do, is get a warm water port down the length of the Crimean Peninsula, and to actually either have a terminal in Sebastopol or Odessa. So, and that's what everybody. That's why you get all these kids, from everybody from John Kerry's kids to Robert Kerry to to let me see, Nancy Pelosi's son, to Biden's son. Okay, of course, all these worthless children, are showing up in the Ukraine trying to get a piece of that action for virtually doing no work. Okay, and so that's what I see is happening right now.
Right.
So is that Russia is attempting to strong arm Ukraine, and the Ukraine is of course dealing with several other issues, but the biggest threat that they have is that they are neighbors right next door to the former workers' paradise. So that's what I see.
Exactly.
And of course, all you have to do is say Russia, GRU, NKVD, KGB, and you'll see where most of the intrigue is coming from.
Well, there's multiple vectors with Russia. We can work something out with them, but they do want to expand. In fact, the comment by Vladimir Putin was the greatest disaster was the fall of the Soviet Union. Now, they want their sphere of influence, and their primary platform is Ukraine. In fact, most of the Sarmat, which are the Satan missile systems, were made actually in eastern Ukraine. People need to understand it's the bread belt of not only Russia, but also of the whole area. It could be the bread belt of Asia and Europe is right in Ukraine. So the Ukrainians are not only good at industry, but they've lost 10 million of their population. We talked about this last hour with Harley Schlanger. And Ukraine basically, Russia is drooling. They took back Crimea because we had this red line policy. Remember Barack Obama? And we were so wimpy about it. Russia just marched right in. Now, a large of the population are Russian-speaking, but Ukraine was a separate country, and they would love to take back eastern Ukraine too. So now, our State Department supported the Poroshenko with even shelling eastern Ukraine and killing people like the Donbass kids. And what people need to understand, all these different vectors are going on. Ukraine, if it's independent, doesn't necessarily have to become NATO. But we got to stop the Russians from thinking they're going to reestablish the Soviet Union. Right now, the only thing they have in their hand is nuclear weapons and biological weapons to crush the West. And as soon as Trump gets his second term, if his Space Force and his missile defense system gets up, Russia and every other nation with nuclear weapons, including China and all these proxy nations, Iran, North Korea, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, become useless. Because without nuclear weapons, no nation can project to 700 power bases and bases in the world like America. And as a result, the New World Order by the globalists cannot happen, because you have an independent, powerful America that's the economic engine of the world, the inventive engine in the world, and now has space-based weapons to protect against incoming nuclear weapons. And with my technology, I could have them stop also biological weapons using scalar warning technologies and technologies to kill bioweapons before they actually get to your land. People need to understand we're moving to a time where American inventiveness can make us impervious to the potential attacks by other nations, and then we can bring peace. Because right now there's enough bad players inside our country and outside that don't want peace, do they?
I wouldn't think so.
No, they're devils. They're indwelt by demonic entities. How's that?
Okay.
Back in a moment with more amazing discussions. We're going to talk about Agent Epstein as well. You mentioned you wanted to talk about that today when we
Yes,
the show.
I do.
And we want to get into some of these other great guests. We're going to talk about what they can talk about in the future.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get emergency foods for your supply for preparation and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop down message at NutriMedical.com and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop down menu and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with you providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. To stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance, but Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Well, the first topic I'd like to talk about is why the Queen actually removed from the, if you want to call it the entourage that represents the royals, the Prince Andrew. And I wonder if there's comments or things that need to be said about that, Greg. And then I'd like to get into talking about these three ladies you introduced me to. One's going to be on Monday, Susan Lindauer. I've got her book. It's pretty massive, actually, and she has her own radio show. I'd like to find out because I want to promote it so people can listen to her on her own show. Tell us about Agent Epstein. I don't want him to be just called Epstein because this guy is, he's got some interesting, you've got to call it, and you're an Intel expert, so you have some interesting subtitles you put on his name. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't know about expert, but you can refer to me as a humble civil servant. Okay, so...
the only humility I believe in is humility to God. I don't believe in any other kind of humility. When people say I'm bold and whatever, I'm humble to the Creator, not to anyone else. How's that? No one else makes me humble. You want to do battle with me intellectually or otherwise, you're not going to be exposed to humility. You'll get exposed to humility to God only because that's the thing that counts, is humility to the will of the Creator God. Right?
Well, as my hero in the movies and the books, detective novels, was Charlie Chan, and he always referred to himself as a humble civil servant. And that's good enough for me. So
I know. Well, he was a comedian too. I don't believe in regular humility. It says in the Bible, "Do not hide your gifts under a bushel basket." I don't think with your book, Midnight to Tomorrow, you're hiding anything. I think you're a pretty bold guy, and I'm proud of you. Okay, go ahead. You're not humble. Let's put it this way. Your humility is because you're a believer, and God is your master and your Lord and your Father, our Father, right?
Yes, I think so.
Right. So then I did a minor correction there, just for everybody's sake, to realize I think Deagle's a bit of a pain in the butt. That's because I am. I'm not trying to hide it. But I want you to talk now. Go ahead. I don't want to talk through this whole segment. I want you to kind of talk about Agent Epstein and go ahead and talk about these three wonderful ladies, right?
As a doctor, I specialize in trauma medicine, not proctology. So.
Well, you do it. No, actually, you're actually an intellectual proctologist now, by seeking the truth, by doing a bowel exploration of the bowels of the geopolitical monstrosity that we have now, confounding the world. So you're a geopolitical proctologist. How's that?
Okay, I'll go with that for the show.
Yeah, okay, just for the show's sake, just to make people laugh a little. Please continue.
By the way, a few minutes ago, I believe this happened, is Mark Lambert. Okay, the person that was was involved right up to his eyeballs with the megawatts for megabucks and the shipping of uranium to Iran. He was just convicted, on several counts, and so I think we're going to have a truth or consequences session with Mr. Lambert.
Well, I heard from Susan Lindauer today, and she mentions she doesn't want to do a video yet because she wants to wait till a release of Durham's report on Barr on the 9th of December. After that, she's going to drop some, instead of the bombs that they had at the Schiff hearing, there's going to be some real bombs, and people are going to be wearing orange jumpsuits for Christmas. That's the color of Christmas, is orange now. You know that, right?
Orange is the new Christmas colors, I take it.
Yeah, that's right, for the demon rats and their confederates in the globalist demonic empire that they're trying to build, which is now crumbling. Right?
But by the way, one of the issues I would like to have Susan Lindauer's help me with is we have Valerie Plame is running for a representative Congress in New Mexico, and I'm trying to get a statement to Valerie Plame. It's very tough to do these days, given how busy she is. But the issue of the nuclear detonators, first of all, that were in the World Trade Center. One was, in the WTC, North Tower, South Tower.
Right.
Each had a nuclear detonator in the basement.
And, they had them in the basement. But they had a chain of pearls through the center of the building that were micro nukes.
Right.
And the experts in those, by the way, we contracted with the SED with the Israeli Mossad since the 1950s, where they acquired nuclear materials, and then later, because Kennedy didn't want them to have them, they're part of the collaborative that wanted to get rid of Kennedy. He didn't want a nuclear-armed Israel, and the Israelis, along with the cabal, decided, no, we're going to have nukes anyway. And I have people that track back the nuclear materials to our nuclear sites in the United States, including South Carolina, was there as their doctor for the nuclear weapons facility making the weapons-grade plutonium for nuclear warheads. I was their doctor, so I know all this stuff. And every single nuclear isotope you have from a specific factory has a fingerprint signature of isotope combinations, so you can tell exactly from what year and what month that isotope and that warhead was made based on the specific isotope frequency pattern. So anybody who doesn't realize they all have actually a fingerprint on every warhead and every detonator. They all have a fingerprint. Right?
Now, my issue is to make sure that Valerie Plame is made aware of those detonators, okay, that were in Iraq.
Right.
She was actually leading the campaign.
Oh, really? So the detonators are there that were used later for the World Trade Center, you mean?
Yes, right.
Oh,
one and the same. And those detonators were from they were engineered by Don Brown, who was a good friend who just passed away. That's why I'm free to talk about all this. But
right.
And this is under the chaos. The Hanford Chaos Files. Okay, the Hanford Chaos Files concerning those detonators that Valerie Plame was attempting to either control or find out exactly their location because they were...
Yeah, in other words, they originated at Hanford, Washington State, or the Hanford reactor site, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, and this is where it directly affects Valerie Plame, was that Dick Cheney, that illustrious personage...
Oh, the Prince of Darkness, that's his other name, in the White House. Prince of Darkness.
Well, that's my name because he and Halliburton they arranged for the logistic shipping department of Halliburton to ship those nuclear detonators to Saddam Hussein, so Saddam Hussein would have dirty bomb fissile material.
Wow.
With the proper detonators to detonate that material.
Wow.
Whether it was from the Osiris reactor or whether it was from some other issue, it was Valerie Plame who was attempting to stop the whole issue with her group, Brewster Jennings, and it was Dick Cheney who exposed her as a CIA agent, and actually when he did that, it destroyed the entire spy network that she had built up. In the Brewster Jennings group, and probably within a week, within a month, maybe 1,200 of our recruited and trained agents disappeared overnight. And,
right.
and it's anybody's guess on the show how most of those 1,200 agents disappeared overnight.
Disappeared permanently, or either were renditioned or were killed, and then they were buried.
Yes, of course. They all died horrible deaths. It's safe to say.
Right.
So,
and that was by the way happened to Susan Lindauer. She told me, and what I heard is that she was renditioned because she knew about 9/11 before it even happened. Do you want to comment about that?
That's absolutely correct. Yes, I'm familiar, by the way, with Susan Lindauer's story because,
right.
Like I said, she and Barbara Honegger were roommates, and so the whole issue was brought up because Barbara Honegger had actually authored the books Behind the Smoke Curtain and October Surprise. Both of those deal with nuclear materials and also what was going on with Iran. If you want to find out what was going on with Iran and all the hijinks that were going on with the Bush senior administration, George H.W. Bush, then read Barbara Honegger's book Behind the Smoke Curtain and the October Surprise.
Okay, go a little slower. I want to look them up on my Amazon. Behind the Smoke Curtain.
And
the
also,
Smoke Curtain,
I would
right?
recommend...
Oh, yeah, here it is. It talks about Behind the Smoke Curtain. Is that the one, a novel set in Vietnam, 1967 to 75? Yes?
And
is that,
I would
is that the one you're referring to? No, that's a different one. No, that's a different one. No, okay.
No, it's a different one. Behind the Smoke Curtain, that's in reference to the attack on the Pentagon.
Here it is, Barbara Honegger. I see it. Yeah,
Right.
it happened at a Pentagon on 9/11 and what didn't and why it matters. Okay.
Right.
So I see your book
exactly.
here.
That's
Ooh,
why
they actually have a DVD of it, but it's really expensive on Amazon. You know how much it is on Amazon?
I don't know.
is
I got one free.
$399.99. So it's $400.
It,
1 cent less than
I've
$400
seen it.
bucks.
I have the copy. Barbara Honegger has been a guest at my home up on the coast.
Whoa!
And
does she have a book on this as well? Because it looks like
yes.
what I see here. Yeah.
And I would recommend that anyone that can remember the hostage situation with Tehran at the U.S. Embassy in
Right.
Tehran with all the hostages needs to read her books.
There's a book version of this movie that she has out there, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Where's the book version?
I'm sorry?
There is a book version of this as well, right?
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Is it called October Surprise and it's hardcover?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that she's talking about here. Hardcover October Surprise by Barbara Honegger. That's one. Did the Reagan-Bush election campaign sabotage President Carter's attempts to free the American hostages in Iran? That's the one she wrote there, right?
Yes, and she is the White House analyst of all intelligence coming in for the George H.W. Bush and Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
So she was the person who knew exactly what was happening and what was going on. And there's a picture in the book, in the back of the book, of Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and
Right.
Barbara Honegger. All right?
Wow.
So that's how closely she worked with those folks.
Right.
And I'm sorry?
Yeah, continue. Please continue. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. So, but the whole situation, it should be referenced in terms of that she was the analyst, and Barbara detected some real vile, evil machinations between the Reagan administration, the Bush administration, and he was vice president at the time, and the defeat of Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter
Right.
probably wouldn't have been defeated if the October surprise hadn't been hatched with the assistance of the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran and
Right.
George H.W. Bush and Ronald Reagan.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. That's how dramatic it was. So, but the thing is those hostages, if you remember, I remember this clearly, is the inauguration of Ronald Reagan. Okay, and as he was taking the oath, a note was brought to him, all very dramatic, very theatrical, and it said that to make the announcement, the public announcement, at the inauguration, that the Iranian hostages had been freed and were on their way home.
Right.
That was all done intentionally and staged by Reagan and Bush, with the help of the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Right. Yeah, and we know that this is all the collaborative. In fact, we made sure that the Ayatollah and so on was not only brought in, and we even copied their audio tapes to bring in the Ayatollah. I know I have my contacts in the CIA. Can you tell me the other book that you recommended there as well? I got that one actually up. I got the October Surprise one.
And Behind the Smoke Curtain.
Yeah, now Behind the Smoke Curtain, they don't have that book there. They have a big video that's very expensive, but maybe it's over on eBay because I don't see it there. So maybe eBay has it, right?
Well, they do. She does have a Behind the Smoke Curtain.
Does she have a different website where it's available over there? Do you know her website?
I'm not sure.
All right.
I assume yes.
I'm a bookomaniac. I ordered that one book already just now as we'll click while you're talking.
Well, the most important thing is that you've read my book and you've gotten it out to your listeners that it's going to be available for disabled veterans.
Midnight in Summer.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing Nutri-Complete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day. Karpinsky, right?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, there's an I in the end. Karpinsky.
And we're back. I wanted to get the exact spelling. Karpinsky, Dr. General Janice Karpinsky, is Karpinsky. Is that correct?
SKI.
SKI. Oh, SKI. Ah, okay.
You know, her name, the proper spelling of her name is on the back of my book. She did the review, the critical review.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that she did the critical review of it. Yeah.
Right, Midnight and Tomorrow.
Right. Here it is. One woman's army, the commanding general of Abu Ghraib, tells her story. Ooh, it's not expensive either. It's hardcover. It's only $10. I'm ordering it immediately. I try to keep ahead of my my really good guests like you, they kind of become informed. As I say, this is part of my Vulcan mind meld to learn what you guys are teachers. I hope that people understand my show is not to entertain. It's called Shockucation. I want to shock you into reality, so I save you from physical health problems, geopolitical mistakes, and societal problems that will eventually result in thermonuclear, chemical, and biological war and the destruction of the human race. Instead of letting us get off planet and having extended lifespans and becoming the bride of the Most High God. So that book, it shows her with her, like with the American flag in her background, and shows General Janis Karpinski with Steve Strasser. I guess he was kind of like her co-author, right?
Right.
And believe it or not, there's only one left in stock, so I'm ordering it, people. So if you wanted it there from there, I'm ordering the hardcover. So I got the hardcover one coming at me, and the order's coming now. Wow. So go ahead, continue. Please continue. What's the story with General Janis Karpinski? Now we know Barbara Honecker is tied to 9/11.
General Karpinski, a.k.a. Janis,
right,
was my boss in Iraq, and when you read my book, you will understand the intrigue and drama that was happening right there in Fallujah or Abu Ghraib prison,
right,
and all the intrigue and drama of all the personnel that were being dealt with in an intelligence mode. It's entirely intelligence, and virtually all the people that were in Abu Ghraib prison, I knew who they were, and it turns out that my reports that I was sending in to General Karpinski were so explosive, so dramatic, that it turns out that there was a bit of a coup going on.
Right.
That there was a in-house coup where a Colonel Pappas, Thomas Pappas, which everybody can look up. Go online, look his name up, Thomas Pappas, Pappas. He had led an in-house coup and was keeping all intelligence from Janis concerning my reports, my specific reports about weapons of mass destruction,
right,
and also Saddam Hussein's banker,
right,
and also Saddam Hussein's maneuverings with his mistress,
right.
Sager was his mistress,
right,
and so I had reports coming in concerning billions of dollars, billions, not millions, not hundreds of thousands, billions of dollars, and so we had WMD, we had of all types of NBC, nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons, and the information coming in on each one. We had information on terrorists coming in, and it turns out that the choke point was Janis's own staff. She wasn't aware of it, but her staff, all the people, I can say this comfortably, all the people that I named in the Supreme Court case, that is in the Supreme Court case right now, of the entire command, was immediately under Janis Karpinski, and they were engineering the in-house coup that happened at Abu Ghraib prison.
Now, by coup, what was their plan when this coup was transitioning? What were they going to do?
Well, putting it in a straightforward manner, they were attempting to keep all the information, away from the general, because the next step would have been, first of all, to make the public announcement that yes, there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and they were U.S. weapons of mass destruction, manufactured in the United States and shipped to the United States via the Bush administration.
Now, why would they move weapons? This is after 9/11. Why would they move weapons of mass destruction to Iraq, claim they had them, and then go in and destroy the people? I know that just for lack of medicine, 500,000 children died in Iraq and during the Gulf Wars. I know that millions of people, especially Christians and Jews, died in Iraq. I know that the massive population surge into Europe, a lot of it's from Iraq and surrounding countries. So people have to understand this PNAC policy is the thing behind a lot of, besides the environmental thing of droughts in North Africa and the Middle East, are driving the population out of the Middle East into Europe. All part of a scheme, isn't it?
As I said in my book, okay, it was the weapons of mass destruction were there. The nuclear issues were being dealt with in my book. Okay, right. And that's why we have to put the communication into. I'm asking you and your station to communicate with Valerie Plame concerning that nuclear issue, and also the billions of dollars that were coming in concerning the green zone, the infamous.
Okay, now right now, was Valerie Plame on the good or dark side of this whole thing? You mentioned a couple of comments. Can you just kind of summarize?
Yes. Yeah, as far as I can tell, she was on the good side. She was a CIA operative, and she had arranged for her own intelligence organization to be dealing with Saddam Hussein and the invasion of Iraq and 9/11. And also, her husband was the person, Joe Wilson, by the way, who I've met, Joe Wilson. And Joe Wilson was actually the last ambassador from the U.S. to Saddam Hussein's Iraq before war started.
Well, why do you think they're so hell-bent on starting a war which basically bankrupted America? The reason why we're in debt to the tune of $20 trillion is primarily the Gulf War since 9/11. See, 9/11 was an inside job. Then it promulgated us to go into Iraq, which, by the way, we had Iraq 1, remember? The first declaration was by George Bush Sr., remember that?
Certainly.
Yeah, and then the second declaration was George Bush Jr., which is, see, the first one, we hadn't had the 9/11. So the first attack on Iraq was promulgated by George Bush Sr., and it was after 9/11 that George Bush Jr. came in there, but of course it was during the Clinton administration that everything was being prepared, including the Patriot Act. It took, from what I heard, 5 years and a battalion of at least 1,000 lawyers to make the Patriot Act. And so all these things were in the works for a long time, going back to even when George Bush Sr. announced to the day, 10 years, 9/11, which is a Masonic term. 9 and 11 are Masonic numbers, aren't they?
It's the number for emergency on your phone also.
Right.
So as I understand it, though, okay, is that the expert on the whole situation, how it unfolded, would be Susan Lindauer.
Right. She's going to be on giving a lot of information. She has more to say. She's going to dump after the Durham and Barr issues. Now, I want people to realize that despite all these negative things going on and all these evil things in the background, our God is God. And in order to be full of joy and praise, you need to praise God, you need to pray, you need to seek the truth, you need to start preparing. And you can do prepping to a certain extent physically. Store food, have electricity, have personal protection, etc. But our ultimate protection is God. He's going to tell you where to be. First thing I'd say is don't be downwind of a nuclear reactor, because if you have big earthquakes, a lot of them are going to lose their reactor core, and they're already leaking. Don't be near a fault zone. On the East Coast, you don't want to be within 75 miles. On the West Coast, 25 miles, because earthquakes transmit faster and farther on the East Coast than the West. Secondly, don't be right on the coast, because we're very likely to have tsunamis if there's major earth changes occur. So you don't want to be smack on the coast. You want to be inland about 6 to 8 miles and at least, say, 800 to 1,000 feet up. And then be prepping to, start preparing with your neighbors. And also have Christian communication, because you can't have groups like some of these movie series where they have people who aren't of Christian faith. If you're not a Christian, that's one of the things I found about my radio show. If I have hosts that are not Christians, they're usually either very negative, or when they find the truth, they kind of lose it. And unless you're a Christian and believe in God with the mess that's going on, you're not going to really be prepared ultimately spiritually, because the spiritual preparation is more important than the physical, isn't it? Right?
Well, I'm wondering if listening to you, Bill, if I should sell my beachfront property that I have the Northern California.
I have experts I've had on the program, and I'm an expert on where you should live. Do not live downwind of a nuclear reactor. Don't live within 25 miles of the fault zones, major fault zones in California or any other part of the country, because there's lots of them all the way from Washington State. There's one fault zone running right across the entire country like a big satanic X. And don't be near a nuclear reactors on the East Coast, because there's tons of them, like 3 Mile Island and others. And stay away from the coast. Don't be right on the coast. Be at least 5 to 7 miles inland and at least 600 to 800 feet. Because what's going to happen when there's earth changes occur, including a pole shift, do also have backup electricity, and we have silicon salt batteries. If you contact me, I can get them for you with no tariff. Right now we get them from China through Canada, through Calgary, Alberta, but we are going to soon have manufacturing in America or South Korea. You want to make sure if you have solar, you have to have backup batteries, because when the power goes out and you're linked up to the grid, you got no power. And if you get hit with an EMP attack or a cyber attack on a power grid, 90% of the population will be dead in 6 months without anything else happening. No invasion, no bioweapon release, no coronal mass ejection, nothing else. Just a CME or a cyber attack on our power grid. 90% of people in the Western countries, and every Western country, will be dead. We have backup power for water, but not sewage. So if you don't have a septic field, which means you probably want to have a septic field rather than a regular sewage treatment system in the city, because none of the cities in the Western world, including even Australia and New Zealand, have backup power for sewage treatment. So within a matter of 4 days, I call it, if I was going to make a Bad B movie, I call it the fourth day, because by that time they have to turn off the water, or it's going to back up in your sink, your toilet, and your arrows through your house. It's going to smell like a sewer, and you're going to get stool and other material backing up in your house. People need to know this is because we did bad planning on every level. We don't have bioweapon packs for people or NIAS masks or anything. I have antipathogenics that kill all bioweapons. I have things that will protect against radiation isotopes, our nutraceuticals. I'm ready, and I tell people you better have these things now from Dr. Bill, because when stuff happens, even if it's distant, like us having Israel attack the Bashar reactor, we're going to get a massive surge of radiation, and we're in the tailpipe, aren't we? Just like Fukushima, which they've not fixed, and all the support companies are American, and their Japanese are doing nothing to stop it, are they? What do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to nickname you Dr. Doom and Gloom Deagle. All right, so I would like, if we could, okay, I'd like to.
This is part of Shockucation, but ultimately, God provides me solutions to every problem. He provides. God is the ultimate fixer of all problems. If our God is God, no matter how bad dark it is, He's going to do supernatural interventions if He has to save His remnant. He wants a bride, which is the human race that survives the cataclysms coming, so we can have descendant children, not only on Earth, but on distant planets, as we have extended lifespan and become the bride of the Most High. So, the first thing you need to do is become a believer. You need to pray hard. You need to prepare hard. You need to face the truth, how ugly it is. And I won't give you too much that you can't handle, but let me tell you, it's a lot more than you're going to get anywhere else. And I have a solution to every problem. Not just some of them, every single one. Pray hard, act hard, cry a lot, that's okay. But listen, our God is God. How's that? You got to be an American patriot. You got to remember our Constitutional Republic was made. Our rights come from our Creator, not from a king or an emperor. That's why we fight so hard for the truth, isn't it?
Which was most